You ever think about animals that have misleading names like ladybugs? They're not ladies. What's up, smarty people? It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, KeysDAN Show with some interesting facts. Some animals have commonly been given names that might lead you to believe false things about them. For example, as we all know, guinea pigs are not pigs, seahorses are not horses, and starfish are neither stars or fish. So how did these names come to be? While look-alike allegations may justify some, others are simply far-fetched. Is there any truth or reason behind these inaccurate nicknames like Firefly? Let's explore some of these animal names that are arguably misnomers. Mountain chicken. Let's start with one of the most far-fetched names on the list. Mountain chickens aren't birds at all. They're large frogs, and they don't live in mountains either. These frogs are found mostly in the Caribbean, inhabiting lowland rainforests and swamps. A more accurate and realistic name for them is giant ditch frogs, which refers to their large size and their tendency to dwell in near water bodies. So how did they get this name? The story goes that locals found the frog's meat similar in taste and texture to chicken. Yes, this now critically endangered species was once considered a delicacy in local cuisines. Tastes like chicken. How about this one? Red panda. You would think that the red panda is just a smaller red version of the giant panda. After all, they share cute faces, patches around their eyes, and similar snouts and ears. But you'd be wrong. Red pandas are not bears. Let me explain. The word panda is believed to derive from the Nepali word panya, which refers to animals with claws adapted for eating bamboo. This is the biggest trait red and giant pandas have in common: their heavily bamboo-based diets. Red pandas, sometimes nicknamed fire foxes, belong to a mammal family of their own and are more closely related to skunks than to giant pandas. This one makes me giggle like a 14-year-old boy. Titmouse. Titmouses aren't rodents. Did you know? Instead, they're songbirds, known for their gray or bluish-gray feathers. Their proper name is tufted titmouse, and you'd be pleased to know that the plural form is indeed titmice. The name titmouse comes from Old English, where tit referred to a small creature, and mass was a general term for a bird. Over time, mass became obsolete, and titmass was transformed into titmouse due to the similarity between the words. Arguably, there's also some physical resemblance between the gray color and beady, round eyes of both titmice and mice. Here's a cool one: the electric eel. Yes, the name electric eel is misleading, but not for the reasons you might think. These aquatic animals are indeed capable of generating shocks of electricity up to 860 volts, which they use to stun their prey or defend themselves. However, strictly speaking, they are not eels. Unlike true eels, which belong to the family Anguillidae, electric eels are part of the knifefish family and are more closely related to catfish. Early European explorers misnamed them based on their elongated, eel-like bodies. Look at that little cutie pie. Seahorse. Seahorses are fish, just like salmon or clownfish. Arguably, they look nothing like those species. Instead, for centuries, humans had noticed their resemblance to horses. Seahorses have a distinctive, upright swimming posture, elongated heads and necks, and a caudal fin that even resembles a horse's mane. Their scientific name, hippocampus, is borrowed from the ancient Greek word hippocampos. Interestingly, the term didn't originally refer to this animal, but to a mythological marine creature. In Greek, hippo means horse, and campos means sea monster. I briefly mentioned this one up at the top. Guinea pigs. Guinea pigs aren't pigs, nor are they from Guinea, the West African country. Instead, they are rodents native to South America. By now, their name has become synonymous with experimental subject because of how frequently they were used in scientific research. There are a couple of theories behind their misleading name. The pig part likely comes from the squealing noises they make, which resemble those of piglets. As for Guinea, it might derive from the British coin of the same name, implying they were sold for its equivalent value. Another theory is that European sailors, associating distant Guinea with anything exotic, mistakenly applied the name to these South American rodents. Here's another cutie, the koala bear. The koala is often called a koala bear, but it's not a bear at all. European settlers in Australia gave it its name because of its round face and fluffy ears. It reminded them of bear cubs. Koalas are in fact marsupials, like kangaroos. They carry their young in pouches. The word koala comes from the Darug language, an Aboriginal language of Australia, and is believed to mean no water, referring to the koala's ability to survive on eucalyptus leaves with minimal water intake. Did you know eucalyptus leaves are low in nutrients and mildly toxic? As a result, koalas have a slow metabolism and sleep up to 20 hours a day. I'd like to get 8 hours a day. You ever catch fireflies? Let's talk about the firefly. Fireflies don't handle fire. They do, however, possess the ability to produce light, a phenomenon called bioluminescence. This light creates the illusion of tiny flames flying through the night. No wonder they've been associated with magic and fascination for centuries. Despite their name, fireflies aren't flies. They're beetles. They produce light through a chemical reaction in their abdomens, which they use to attract mates or communicate. In fact, different firefly species flash in distinct rhythms to help them identify each other. Look at all these cute animals. The prairie dog. The first time you hear the term prairie dogs, you might picture a pack of dogs roaming freely across the prairies. In reality, these animals are rodents and belong to the ground squirrel family. The name is believed to have been given by early European settlers due to their high-pitched sounds. Prairie dogs are capable of producing sophisticated and varied calls to communicate with one another, sometimes sounding like a man's best friend. The prairie part of the name comes from their habitat, vast grasslands and prairies across North America. These rodents are expert burrowers and typically live in small family groups called coteries, coteries, where members groom and protect each other. And finally, the ladybug. It's not only that the ladybugs aren't all female, they aren't truly bugs either. Instead, they are a type of beetle. These round and colorful insects have been widely associated with good luck and fortune for centuries. The reason for this has to do with the story behind their nickname. The name ladybug originated in the Middle Ages when farmers prayed to the Virgin Mary for help with pests in their crops. The beetles, which help control aphid populations, were called Our Lady's birds or Our Lady's beetles, later shortened to ladybirds or lady beetles. Over time, much to the frustration of entomologists, this evolved into the popular term ladybugs. Hope that cleared some things up about these misleading animal names. This has been the KeysDAN Show. Stick around for more. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.